Welcome to the Leith Wheeler Stanley Park Open Tennis Championships. It's the 90th version, if you can believe that. And we've got some tremendous action for you here today, starting with the women's singles final, featuring 16-year-old Alessia Cao playing 25-year-old Jenna Cheng, who was in the final 10 years ago as a 15-year-old. Will be a very exciting match, tremendous action coming up. And this is Jenna Cheng, age 25, from Edmonton. She was in this final 10 years ago as a 15-year-old, and now actually more of a part-time player. Actually was here on vacation and decided to play the Stanley Park tournament again. But she has tremendous pedigree. She played at University of Utah, Division I NCAA, where she was one of the top players on the team. She also then carried on with that and went to the University of Alberta, where she made a change in her degree. She got a biology degree in Utah and then decided she liked to really enjoyed teaching when she had a wrist injury, and then went and got an education degree at University of Alberta and looking to become a junior high school teacher in science. She has played Stanley Park a couple of times after being in the final in 2012 and always around the semifinal level. So very competitive player, even though she may not have played that much tennis in recent years. On here in the green, this is 16-year-old Alessia Cao. She is from Vancouver, and this is a player very much on the rise. Current national ranking under 18 to 17. She's number 1 or 2, latest ranking in BC. She trains in the national training program here with Odeb Jacob, the national coach. And this year, in the past year, started playing ITF junior tournaments where she has a world ranking of 322. Recently has come off her first clay court European swing, where she gained some really valuable experience on constructing a point, and has the added bonus in her national training program of training regularly with Rebecca Marino, who's now top 100 in the world and on our Billie Jean King national team. And you can imagine how tremendous an experience it is, how much young players gain when they can train regularly with somebody of Marino's ability and experience. I think we can expect a match that will feature very strong ground stroke play from both players. It is not untypical in women's tennis today that forehand backhands are hit with great depth and power. But I also think both these players have the ability to change things up. I know that Cao in particular, but Cheng also had the ability to use a one-handed slice to vary spin and to attack on short balls. The courts will play fast here. They haven't been resurfaced for a few years. Apparently that's going to happen next year. So I think points will be relatively short and quick. Big opportunity for both players to win the prestigious Leith Wheeler Stanley Park Open, and very significant prize money. The winner will receive $5,400. The runner-up, $2,600. That is a very significant amount of prize money for a tournament that is not ATP or WTA tour level. So this is a very generous prize money pool. And of course the idea here is that this is very important money for the players to then be able to use to invest in their coaching, training, and touring. I think players are completed their warm-up now, will make their final preparations. Weather today looks like it's actually a perfect tennis playing day. Looks like we'll have a high of about 24, maybe 25 degrees. No wind. And the players now, having played for the past week here, are very familiar with court speed and the environment. Exciting opportunity for both. One side note on Jenna Chang, because she has not been playing quite as much tennis, she had some cortisone shots in her left wrist coming into the tournament shortly before, and it was telling me this morning that she had one yesterday on her right wrist. So that's really, I think, related to the fact that she has not played that much competitive tennis. So it's something we'll keep an eye on during the course of the match. Play to begin. Jenna Cheng will serve first. Expect players to feel out each other's tempo and pace early on, try to get a lot of balls into play and just get their rhythm. Good second serve high to Cao's backhand. That's the ideal second serve placement for a right-hander, to be able to kick it up high, out wide on the ad court. Cheng making it clear, no problem attacking on the short ball. I think it's important too for both players to concentrate on a high percentage of first serves in play, because neither one has a huge serve. So that getting a high percentage of first serves takes the pressure off having to always get a quality second serve in play. So that's a strong start for Cheng, holding serve relatively comfortably. Looking relaxed, serving well. Alessia Cao now coming up for her first service game. And from that side of the court, which is on the north side, northwest side, you're looking into the sun in the morning. Cheng playing aggressively. Very strong return there, deep down the middle. So first pattern early in the match, Cheng, the aggressive player, going after her forehand in particular, a lot of pace. Cao has been on the defensive, trying to keep the ball in play, trying to take, at this point, a bit of pace off the ball. I like the change up there that Cheng tried, throwing up a lob, giving Kao something different to look at. It's an effective way of keeping a player off balance, not getting themselves too comfortable on their rhythm. That's more assertive play from Kao. Good depth on that ground stroke. That may be something that a pattern we'll see in the match with Cheng. The more aggressive player will hit more assertive shots and winners, but may also make more errors. Kao, particularly on the forehand, hits the ball with more shape, higher over the net with more spin. Maybe focusing more on consistency. I think, too, it might be in Cheng's head that as she hasn't played as much tennis in the past year, that she wants to keep the points shorter, quicker, not play too many long, exhausting points, because endurance, as the match progresses, might be a factor. Well-placed serve down the tee. Close call. Kao having a second look. Both players making it clear that they will be aggressive off second serves. Kao really stepped into that second serve and hit it with good penetration to the backhand side. That was a shaky second serve. So that's an indication of the pressure that Cheng is now starting to feel off of Kao's return of serve. That if the second serve isn't deep, Kao's going to take advantage of it. So that's something Cheng now is a bit in her head. Needs to get that first serve percentage up. That's a good solution. Again, a good first serve down the tee on the ad court. That seems to be a comfortable serve for Cheng. Nice variety from Cheng in that exchange, mixing up pace with higher semi-lob type of balls, which force Kao to have to go from counter-puncher to punching. Yeah, very good depth from Kao. Definitely does not hit the forehand as flat as Chang. A lot more top spin. That ball is clearing the net by 2, sometimes 3 racket lengths. Lots of shape. The first serve from Chang has been effective. That was a hard-fought service hold by Jenna Chang, and she leads 2-1 in the first set. Are we going to commercial now? So I'm talking through every break. So early on, both these players are getting their sense of the opponent's skill set, still kind of feeling each other out, but I think certain patterns are clear that Chang will try to be the more aggressive of the two. Cao is going to be the player who's going to probably grind a bit more, keeping the ball longer in play, mixing up depth. I haven't seen too much aggressive play at the net yet. Chang is the only player so far to have gone to the net, and it'll be interesting to see if Cao makes any adjustments. Much more assertive play from Cao. And really set up with a good serve to begin with. Allows her to take control of the point. Both players cautious on their second serve. Need to go after it more, just add more spin. That's an excellent return. Excellent return by Chang. Cao will need to vary her serve placement, not let Chang get too comfortable on predicting where the return is going to be hit. Very strong play here from Chang, putting her into a break situation opportunity. Oh, that's just excellent play by Chang. Mixing up power tennis with nice touch at the end there on the drop shot winner, and that gives her the first break of serve in the match, and she is now leading 3-1. Hey, I can't hear the umpire at all, should I? So I can, I'm guessing at the score at times. Thanks. It's always so important after a break of serve to consolidate that by holding your own serve. Very important point in any match. And of course, the player that's just been broken is going to be very committed and dedicated to breaking right back. Right away, Cow has put herself into a position, opportunity to break. Love 30. This is where Chang needs some good first serves. Nice change up with a one-handed slice by Cow. Sets up triple break point. What an impressive game by Alessia Cow to break back at love. And she really earned that with strong ground stroke play and mixing in some slice on the backhand. Not surprisingly, a very competitive final between these two players. Not much to pick between them in terms of skill. Both very strong off the ground, prepared to attack on the short ball. I'm pretty sure that Alessia Cow took note of the need to be more aggressive and not just defend against Cheng's play. Cheng will be disappointed with that game. Got off to a slow start, and that often is a byproduct of not having played a lot of competitive tennis, because when you're playing regularly tournaments and matches, there's such an awareness of key competitive moments, and one of them is after you've broken serve to really focus on the first couple of points on your own serve to see if you can consolidate. There's no doubt between the two players, it is Alessia Cow who has played considerably more competitive tennis in the past couple of years, albeit at the junior level. Certainly, there seems to be some additional confidence in Cow's play, going after, increased the pace the last couple of games. So Cow starting to dictate play here, really moving Cheng around the court. Wow, that was an impressive winner. I was about to comment that Cow is really starting to focus on placing the ball to Cheng's backhand, working that side over, but brilliant response from Cheng, hitting that slap shot winner down the line. But is that sustainable? Good quality tennis. Chang picking up the pace. I loved her preparation on those last few ground strokes. Really did the leg work to have herself in a position to hit the ball with that kind of confident pace. Now, Cheng will want that one back. She did a very effective job of making this service game competitive. And I like the way Cheng tries to vary the type of ball that Cao is seeing, going from flat pace to high semi-lob type of strokes. Oh, she missed that. It was a great effort by Cao to be able to pick up that drop shot. But she was somewhat vulnerable at the net. Cheng maybe going for too much instead of a nice cross placement, cross-court placement. This now provides another break opportunity for Cheng. Correction, it's back to deuce. Ooh. That was an awkward stumble there by Cheng. But good serve and attacking ball combination by Cao. Again, set up by a very well-placed first serve. So Cao survives a tricky service game, and we are tied at 3-all first set. Great placement by both players. Cao finishing off with her forehand down the line. Gaining confidence as the match progresses. I think she had to adjust early on to Cheng's pace, but has figured that out. Cao, with her strong baseline play, is opening another window here for a potential break of serve. Such a powerful forehand from Cheng. When she has time to set up for it, it's deadly. Great return from Kao. Took that ball early. Didn't give Cheng any time to react. And that's the key. I think that Kao has adjusted to is trying to find a way to rush Cheng and not give her the time to set up and really unload on the forehand or backhand for that matter, because she has big pace off both wings. Oh, Kao will want that one back. That second serve was sitting ripe for the picking. Oh, good play by both players. Cheng showing the initiative with pace and moving Kao around. Some great defense, though, from Kao to stay alive in that point, particularly on the wide slice forehand. But ultimately, had to cover too much ground at that point. Oh, again, Kao missing a relatively short second serve off the forehand side. Maybe just keep it simple, deep down the middle, get yourself into the point. Maybe she's trying to do a little too much with that. Well, Cheng will certainly feel relief surviving that service game, but good fight from her. Kao, maybe a missed opportunity. It results in Cheng leading 4-3 first set on serve. Right now?
Get your tickets now and experience the National Bank Open presented by Rogers.
I'm certainly looking forward to the National Bank Open. I have the privilege of working for Sportsnet and broadcasting. I think it's my 26th year covering the National Bank Open, and just being part of one of the biggest tennis tournaments in the world. And that's something that these two players aspire to be able to qualify for in some time in the future, particularly Kao, who is in the BC National Junior Training Program working under national coach Oded Jacob. This is now some pressure as we are deeper in the first set. The value of points starts to be magnified. Love 15. Got to pay, Kao needs to pay attention here. Good first serve down the tee. Such an effective placement. Stretched Cheng on the forehand side. just long. I call that a good error in the sense that the ball was well struck, it was deep, it just missed by an inch or so, compared to dumping a ball into the net or spraying it several feet wide. So as a player, it's important to know the distinction and not be overly frustrated if you've made a solid error like that, trying to do the right thing. One thing I've noticed about Cao, more so than Cheng, she will be prepared at times to hold her ground close to the baseline and take the ball right off the bounce with a short backswing. That's one of her techniques of rushing Cheng. Something another very well-known Canadian tennis player does very well, Leylah Fernandez. That was a cautious second serve, de-accelerated her arm, kind of pushed it into the net. So important for players to remember to keep the racket head moving very fast on second serves. Control with spin. Just long on the slice, but I like the. So in contemporary tennis now, the two-handers have all learned one-handed slices, which is such an effective way to deal with low balls, wide balls, high balls, and particularly the approach shot. As you're hitting that ball on the run, much easier to hit a one-handed slice on the run than a two-hander. Cheng's got herself back into this service game. Important first serve from Cao. Erases the break point. Back to deuce. Cheng, realizing she needed more topspin on that backhand, flew on her a bit. Great lob. And a lob right back by Cheng. Both players resourceful on that point, staying alive with well-placed lobs. That one just catching the back of the line. I think Cao hesitated for a second, thinking that was going to land out. Such an effective shot, the lob. Often practice very little, but there's no better stroke to buy time and allow a player to get back into position when pulled off the side of the court. Real battle this game now. Both players understanding its importance in the set. Cow taking a moment. Great use of the lob by Cheng. Cheng frustrated that that was just wide, but I really admire how Cheng uses the lob to get herself out of difficult situations, or sometimes just to give Cow a different look on the ground stroke. Because when you're hitting a lob, you have to generate your own power. On one of these, we saw Cheng actually just move in and take it right off the bounce. We are at 4-all. And that's a great way to open a critical service game with an ace. That error was set up by the depth of the return from Cow. You take a page out of Novak Djokovic's book, who has the best return of serve in the world, and he often just hits it deep right down the middle of the court, almost handcuffing the opponent. And also giving himself a very large target to go after, so if you miss by several feet, the ball's still well in. Seeing Cow more and more now try to take balls early off the bounce. So the depth from Cheng is starting to take effect. Cow does not want to have to back up too much. Oh, that's a good return of serve. Talk about taking a ball early, assertively. Excellent backhand return. All tied up, 4-all, 30-all. These are now the key pressure points. Really excellent tennis by both players. That's high quality stuff we're seeing. Powerful ground strokes, attacking on short balls, moving the ball around the court. Impressive stuff. That's the way you want to finish a point. And that does build confidence. Look how the entire body rotates into the stroke to generate that pace. That's a clutch serve from Cheng, finding her favorite spot on the ad service court, right down the tee. like good depth from Cao, and Cheng seemed to be indecisive whether to hit that with pace or to lob it again, and as a result the ball flew. Sets up a break point for Cao. Oh, that hurts. To lose the break point on a tentative second serve, when overall I feel Cheng has been serving well in this match, but that is costly and gives Cao a 5-4 lead in the first set serving.
Keep playing, girl. This is your time to spark a flare. To set the match. To celebrate the big victories. And the small ones, too. To show strength through emotion. Because it takes blood, sweat, and tears to own it. Unstoppable. Unapologetic. Serve it all up. 'Cause, girl, you've got game.
I think it's really important to acknowledge the investment that Tennis Canada makes in tennis development across the country, and in this case particularly in BC, helping set up the BC National Junior Training Program, led, as I mentioned, by national coach Oded Jacob. That investment has been happening now for well over a decade, where the top junior players are identified and get to train regularly amongst their high-achieving peers, with national coaches and personal coaches involved as well, and other top touring players like Rebecca Marino, who lives in Vancouver, and when she's not touring will join the program as well to keep her game sharp. And it's such an effective strategy to developing young talent, and one of the reasons why Canada has become a leading tennis nation internationally. Always like to see how a player composes themselves when they have an opportunity to, in this case for Cao, serve out a first set, and in Cheng's case, stay alive. These are the most compelling moments in any match. All right. Big trouble here for Cheng, who's starting to show frustration with herself. I mean, pretty controlled, but you're seeing a few head shakes and hands on the hips. Cao looking very focused. Oh, this is all Cao. I really enjoy seeing a player just confidently step up and take advantage of the opportunity. And that is what Alessia Cao is doing right now. She is up 40-love, triple set point. I hear you. I'm throwing to break. Got it. And that's the first set. A tremendous service game to finish the finisher off the set by Cao, holding at love. And she takes a very well fought, tight first set, 6-4, taking the early lead in the match. We'll be back after a short break. So a tremendous sponsor here of Stanley Park is Leith Wheeler, who have been doing it since 2015. And with me is Leanne Scott, Vice President with Leith Wheeler. And Leanne, why is this such a great fit for your organization with tennis?
Oh, thanks, Robert. It's one of the core values that we have at Leith Wheeler is we really like to be able to contribute back into our community. And, you know, being able to sponsor with the Stanley Park Open has just been so wonderful, supporting tennis right here in Vancouver and also being part of this very long-standing tradition of 90th anniversary this year.
I know, it's amazing. I think it must also be rewarding in that this investment is helping develop young players like we're seeing right here in this tremendous women's final. Alessia Cow is 16 years old in the national training program, and the prize money alone will allow them to continue to train and to be able to tour around the world.
Yeah, no, it's just really fantastic, very, very rewarding, and so great to see so many people out today too, you know, coming through COVID, and just a wonderful thing, and promoting fitness and healthy lifestyle, you know, for everyone that's watching and involved. It's really terrific.
Well, I can tell you on behalf of all of us in tennis, and I've been involved for over 55 years, we deeply appreciate the investments a company like yours makes in our sport, and that's a partnership that really has the opportunity to continue to grow. So thank you very much for your support.
Oh my goodness, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Obviously a very important first game here for both players, but more important, I would say, for Jenna Cheng to reestablish herself early in the second set. But a tentative second serve like that also sends a signal to Cow, knowing that there's frustration building, there's some tension there, and to be opportunistic. Now is the time to really take control of the match. Cheng staying alive in this game. But right now it's coming more off of errors from Cow than Cheng's earlier very aggressive play. There's no question that high first serve percentage is critical for Cheng. Her first serve has been effective. It's been difficult for Cow to contend with. The second serve has been vulnerable. Well-constructed point by Cheng. Cow did a great job there of hanging in there with that one-handed slice when pulled off the court. But that was exactly the start that Cheng needed. Get into a bit of a fight here early in the second, deal with nerves, get her service game under her belt, and now to try to reconstruct, try to rebuild some domination in the second if she can. Been an excellent women's singles final. There is little to pick between these two. They're both very skilled, smart players. I like the way they mix up pace, tempo, and placement. This is the kind of finish that Cheng relishes, unloading on the forehand. And now it's important for Cow to maintain the level of play that she established in the second half of the first set. Chang survived her little mini crisis first service game in the second. And now Cow is going to be under some pressure. Just missed on that return from Chang, but I like the way she went after it. Not a bad error. That was excellent placement on the first serve from Cow. Both players effective on the ad service court with their T serves right down the middle. Oh, she missed the overhead. It was an awkward lob, not as high and deep as some of the others from Cheng. So the timing was a little trickier. Sometimes it's better to take those as a high volley, swinging volley, than an overhead. Oh, getting that forehand bouncing up high on Cow is starting to generate some errors. And for Cheng, that is a massive break of serve to take a 2-love lead early in the second set. You can see some frustration now from Cow, who seems to have lost her range a bit on the backhand side. Might want to put a little more topspin on it. They're flat and flying on her. This is tonic for Cheng, getting a couple of quick games. Conserving energy for what she hoped will be a third set. Oh, that's a couple of unforced errors on the forehand, which might be a lost opportunity here for Cheng, who was up to love 30. Oh, sorry, 30 love on her serve. I have to think that this is a critical game for Cheng. That smart serve into the body, that jammed Cow. So he took a bit of pace off and spun it into the body. I thought that was smart. But it's a couple of unforced errors, unnecessary, I thought, to take that ball so aggressively on the rise from Cheng. She had enough time, take a step back and give herself more time to hit a quality ground stroke. Nice net play by both players. We've seen Cheng now throw the drop shot in several times. That's a great rhythm breaker. Even if the player gets to it, they're out of position. Oh, that's a great volley by Cow. I admire that aggressive play. Took the high forehand, drove it down the line, and came to the net to finish, and just an excellent backhand volley. Good shoulder rotation. High backhand volley, it's a tough area to hit it. Players aren't quite as strong when the ball's up at head height. Got to use more of your upper body, and she did. Cheng wrong-footed. Cow there hitting back behind her on the second drive. All right, these players were thinking out here. You could sense the importance and value of this game has picked up. Cheng holds 3-love as a commanding lead. Cow breaks. We're right back even. That's a good first serve. Again, down the middle. Cheng has had the ability frequently in critical situations on her service games to come up with very well-placed first serves. No mistake on the short ball from Cow. It underlines the importance of trying to get a good first serve in from Cheng. That second serve put her on the defensive right from the start. Bit of a loose forehand from Cow. I'm not sure if they're questioning the call. Was there an overrule? Do we have a mic on any of this? So it looks like that call was overruled by the umpire, and it is now break point for Cow. That's why we saw Chang looking quizzically up at the umpire going, why? That ball was out. Why did you overrule it? Great. Strong game by Cow there, competitively coming up with some of her best tennis to get the break back. Cheng may be a little unlucky there on game point. Umpire linesperson called the ball out and the umpire overruled. And I'm not sure we get another look at it. No, that was the finishing point from Cow. So we're back on serve. Cheng leading 2-1. We'll be right back. Yeah, you guys are happy with everything?
Get your tickets now and experience the National Bank Open presented by Rogers.
Now with that, I can't help but feel that's a missed opportunity from Chang. 3-love. Would very much be in the driver's seat to take this match to a third set. Losing her serve there, puts it back on serve, and Cow finished with some real energy, assertive play. I think it's going to be a real battle now going forward for both, but for Cheng in particular. Cow is very aware that she has to get some good kick on the ball, good hop on the ball to try to get the ball to bounce outside of Cheng's ideal strike zone, which is around waist level. If she can force Cheng to hit more balls around shoulder, head height, Cheng will just not be quite as dominant. The balls will not hurt as much. This is where Cheng has to be careful too, that the points don't start rolling by too quickly. Probably is a good play for Cheng, making an adjustment by coming to the net more frequently. It gives the opponent a different look, plus anytime one player comes to the net, the other player is rushed. They have less time, and they also now have to hit a very specific kind of shot, in this case a well-placed passing shot. It does take comfort away from the baseline player. Nice swinging forehand volley from Cow. Not letting the ball bounce on this lob this time, taking it out of the air. Strong game by Cow, who now has evened up the score in the second set. It's 2-all. The question for Cheng is, do you keep doing what you've been trying to do and execute at a better level, or do you change it up? Do you try to do something different to throw off an opponent who's been playing better as the match has progressed? Boy, those are some confident forehands from Cow. Definitely adding some pace. She already had good shape on the ball, but she tends to have more topspin on the forehand. So for her to put more energy and speed in the forehand is controllable through the spin. I think this is red alert time here for Cheng. She was up 2-love with game point for 3-love. Now 2-all, love 30. Timely ace down the middle. I think that's Cheng's third eighth. I think that's a play that Cheng needs to try more, coming to net a little more frequently and not giving a confident Cow as much time to set up. That second serve just sits too much, and Cow now knows it and just moves in very aggressively. Break point for Cow. Oh, that hurts. Double faulting the service game away. And that gives Cow 3-2 lead and the break. Very much now in the driver's seat. Frustrating couple of games there for Jenna Cheng, who started off so well in this set. But full marks to Alessia Cow. Started playing much more aggressive off her forehand side and took a few of those higher lobs out of the air right there. Swing, top spin, forehand volley. Nice adjustments. In a close match, she is now in control. Cheng has shown herself to be resourceful. Cow will have to maintain this level of intensity. As mentioned, perfect conditions in this final today. 24-25, no wind. skill level of both players on display. They're both hitting outstanding one-handed slices, textbook perfect. This is dig-in time for Cheng. Needs to get that break back right away. So for a player who often counterpunches, Cow has demonstrated ability to generate her own pace on balls where she has an opportunity. Right here, just stepping right into it with good racket speed, finishing it off. That's well disguised. We haven't seen as many drop shots from Cow as we have from Cheng, and that one came out of nowhere. She set up like she was going to drive the forehand and then was able to come underneath the ball with lots of underspin. Well done. A hold here for Cow gives her a commanding lead in the second set. Just missing on the wide forehand. Well struck though. I like the intention. I mean, Cow is going for it. She's not hoping that Cheng makes mistakes. She's initiating. Oh, that's too good. Nothing you can do about that. Bit of a desperation play by Cheng, but it did the job. Keeps her alive in the service game. You can see that Cheng isn't all that pleased because she knows it was a bit fortunate to be able to pull that shot off, threading the needle. Cheng staying alive, now has a break point of her own. Second serve opportunity for Cheng. And a double fault gives the break back to Cheng. We're at 3-all first set, second set. Both players feeling the pressure. If there's one comment as a coach I would make to either player, is to keep working on developing their second serves, keep the racket head moving with speed so the ball, if you slow down a second serve and try to guide it in, it's going to sit, and at this level the players really take advantage of it on the return. Now all double faults coming in from both players. Very tentative. In a situation like this, sometimes make sure you get the first serve in by taking putting a little more spin on it. Still hit it with good pace, but take the pressure off yourself having to guide those second serves in. And that's exactly what Cheng just did there. She tried to kick that first serve in. Oh yeah, she's got the yips on the second serve now. Frustrating to watch. Much more frustrating for her to actually go through. The toss isn't high enough. She's not hitting up with enough racket head speed using her legs, right? It's a cautious motion. Needs to go after the ball. Now she's thinking about it too much. Oh, that's painful to watch. 3 straight double faults. It's in her head now, and that's a tough one for a player. That's why you have to do something different on the first serve. Just kick, and she tried to do it on the previous point. Kick the first serve in. Also, take a couple of deep breaths. That's all right. She kicked it in, at least got it into play. Cheng actually stuck her finger out right away, indicating the ball was out. There seemed to be some lack of certainty on the call. Cow wondering, did that not actually catch the line, but it is confirmed as out, so Cheng erases 1 break point down. Oh, that is a tentative serve. Went for it on that second serve. Cheng hanging in there, even though she's going through an existential crisis on her serve. Still alive. But she pays the ultimate price on it. Cow getting the break, more or less gifted to her. It's frustrating when that happens for any player, but Cow will take it gladly. We'll be back shortly.
Keep playing, girl. This is your time to spark a flare. To set the match. To celebrate the big victories. And the small ones, too. To show strength through emotion. Because it takes blood, sweat, and tears to own it. Unstoppable. Unapologetic. Serve it all up. 'Cause, girl, you've got game.
Well, it was such a key game in this match where that was that well-disguised drop shot that really got things going for Cow. But it was so frustrating to see Cheng implode on her serve. She hit a great line drive to stay alive at one point, but the frustrations really came into play on her serve, where she double faulted 3 times in succession, and very tentative types of double faults, which have its effect on your confidence as a player. It's one thing to be aggressive on a second serve and just miss by an inch or two. That's going to happen, but you're still hitting the serve well. But when your whole body kind of collapses on itself and the ball doesn't even cross the net, that can take a toll on your confidence. She needs a really strong bounce back game here to not let the second set totally spin out of control. And that's a good start. Cheng showing some frustration, little head shakes. This is where it's over and you've got to focus on the task at hand. I think she's experienced enough to understand that. Good deep forehand from Cheng. She's giving herself a chance here at 15-30. Excellent depth. And a double fault from Cao gives Cheng double break point. Both players dealing with some vulnerability on their service games. Excellent forehand from Cao generates that error. Definitely something that Cao has picked up over the course of the match is the power that she's hitting off both wings, taking the ball earlier. Oh, right, that should. Cao will want that volley back in the right position, had tactically won the point in a position for a little short angle volley and pushed it long. Did much more with that than she needed to. And Cheng is back. Getting that service break takes the score to 4-all. Good response to Cheng's drop shot. Cao drop shotting right back. Both players have nice soft hands, able to execute. Technically, one of the more difficult shots to hit, especially with disguise. This is a repeat pattern here for Cheng on her service game in the second set. She is again down love 30. So having to battle through every one of her service games. No quick games. Triple break point for Alessia Cao. For Cheng now, she just has to try to take 1 point at a time to get herself back into contention. And the double fault seals that game. A really unfortunate pattern for her. Gives Cao a 5-4 lead. second set and a chance to serve for the title.
Keep playing, girl. This is your time to spark a flare. To set the match. To celebrate the big victories. And the small ones, too. To show strength through emotion. Because it takes blood, sweat, and tears to own it. Unstoppable. Unapologetic. Serve it all up. 'Cause, girl, you've got game.
This is arguably an opportunity for Alessia Cao to achieve the biggest victory so far in her young career at age 16. She is now serving for the Leith Wheeler Stanley Park Open Women's Tennis Championships. And she's done it by making adjustments in the course of the match. Going from a counter puncher dealing with Cheng's pace to starting to assert herself with her own pace, coming in on shorter balls. So full value to put herself into this position. And off to a good start with a 15-love lead. This is where all the great training and support that Cao receives in the National Junior Training Program here in BC under Oded Jacob is really understanding mentally how to stay in the moment. Very assertive forehand to finish at that point and give herself a 30-love lead. Not looking tentative at all. And with that, she has triple title point, triple championship point. And that's it. The new champion here at the Leith Wheeler Stanley Park Women's Tennis Championships is Alessia Cao. Played a very competitive match here against Jenna Cheng, winning 6-4, 6-4. Very little room between these two players, but I thought it was the adjustment that Cao made about halfway through the first set from counter-punching and defending a lot off of the pace from Cheng and becoming more assertive herself that made the difference. And then really keeping her head in some of the key critical moments of the match. Just an outstanding winnie. And we will be back having a chat with the champion after break.
Cameras ready, audio set. And we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the TC 10K. This is it. We're here. We've been waiting all year for this.
Well, being in the lead is always a nice position because you have a vantage point where you can see everybody.
The hometown fans in support, and there it is. Genevieve Lalonde takes the gold of Canada.
We were living in a difficult time when language was forbidden.
Comes to the inside. Carlson and Midgley get together. Carlson takes the lead.
Mar on the tip. Yes, he can.
It is Canada's game.
show, everybody.
Get your tickets now and experience the National Bank Open presented by Rogers.
We're here with the new champion of the Leith Wheeler Stanley Park Women's Open Tennis Championships, Lesia Cow. Great performance, 6-4, 6-4. I felt that there was an adjustment you made early in halfway through the first set from counterpunching to being more aggressive with your own game, and you really started to hit your forehand and backhand with great power.
Yeah, I think I started out a bit tight, so I was a bit too passive at the beginning, but then I realized that she was taking control of the point, so I had to really make sure to press and change my game plan.
The other thing I noticed is I think you figured out that her second serve was a bit short and vulnerable, and you really started to take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's something I've been working on with my coach also, just taking advantage of the second serve, and I really tried to use that today.
So winning a women's event, and by the way, $5,400 prize money, that's going to go well into the next stages of your development.
Yeah.
What does that do to your confidence?
It boosts it for sure. Winning the ITF last week and then following it up with a win this week, it really puts me in a good spot for the upcoming tournaments, I think.
Your coach, Odette Jacob, says that in the national training program, you've had an opportunity to train with Rebecca Marino when she's coming off the tour and home for a while. What does that do for you to be able to train and learn from somebody like Rebecca?
It's amazing, to be honest. For her to even come train with us is just such a privilege, and we're so lucky to have her whenever she's back.
Yeah, no, and she's a tremendous role model for everyone, quite
for
frankly.
Sure. Yeah.
I also heard that you just came off your first European clay court swing, and while maybe you didn't have all the results you wanted, I'm sure it was an amazing learning experience for you.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely tough, but I learned a lot, and I think it's going to help me in my game in the future, for sure.
Well, I think we're all very excited for your future, particularly from what we saw today. I love your head and the way you play the game. Now go get your trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Off you go. Have fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give another round of applause for our competitors today. It's my pleasure to begin the trophy presentation for the 2022 Leith Wheeler Stanley Park Open Women's Open Division. Before we present the awards, I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge our presence and appreciation of the traditional lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. It really is a privilege to hold one of BC's oldest sporting events in a place so rich in history. The event that brings the tennis community together continues to thrive despite the challenges of the last 2 years. I'm proud to say that the 90th anniversary of the Stanley Park Open broke the record for total adult competitors with over 800 participants in the NTRP and Open division and about 1,400 competitors across all events, both junior and adult. In a record-breaking year, our Women's Open draw welcomed players from many places with a variety of playing experiences. Alessia and Jenna fought through some really challenging matches to make it to this day in the tournament, and it's a shame that only one of them will go home with the winner's trophy. On behalf of Tennis BC, I would like to congratulate Alessia and Jenna and all the women that competed in this year's tournament. I'd now like to pass the mic to Tennis BC Executive Director John McMurtry for a few words.
Thank you very much, Max. On behalf of Tennis BC, we are honored to have so many wonderful sponsors. You don't get to 90th anniversary without having a tremendous amount of support from the tennis community in BC and the amount of sponsors that we have. I'd like to thank our presenting sponsor is Leith Wheeler. They've been with us for 7 years, and they've done a tremendous job on ensuring that this is our 90th birthday. We also have, and I need to check, also like to thank Tennis Canada, our presenting sponsor for the Open division. They increased this year. They also support the National Junior Open Series, a junior event that we ran this week, the qualification tournament for the Fisher Junior Nationals. Vancouver Board of Parks and Recreation, without the permit process, they detail every part of the site so that everything worked absolutely seamlessly. Stanley Park Brewing, they provided sponsorship in kind, and they also provided an opportunity for participants and spectators to enjoy their services. City of Vancouver, they provided a hosting grant to the Leith Wheeler Junior International Tennis Federation event. International competition for our juniors in BC is a very big step in making sure that the pathway encourages development. Via contributed to a hosting grant to the Leith Wheeler Junior ITF, which focuses on the development of our tennis. The province of BC provided COVID recovery program, and that enabled us to maintain staffing and services through the pandemic, and also allows us to plan events that occurred now. I'd also like to particularly thank Max Cork. Max has done a tireless job on detailing every bit of what you've just experienced in the last 17 days. He's done a phenomenal job of planning and executing. So if you've seen Max walk around, you know that he's done a wonderful job. Now, one last look. I think I finished my notes. Max, over to you.
Thank you, John. Without further ado, our 2022 Women's Open finalist, Jenna Chang, come on up. And ladies and gentlemen, our 2022 Leith Wheeler Stanley Park Open champion, Alessia Cow.